nabagambye bamaleyo ekibonerezo. Owange zimuladde ne sibamukwata 13 December 2020 up to now. Dennis tumunoonyeza abuze. Yaleka omwana wa myaka 2. Kati omwana alina emyaka 4 agenda atandika okusoma ne fees nazo tetuziina. Museveni gy'olinze nkulaajanira ta abantu bana ebintu biruliyo oba tugamba tulimba bana abantu bababuza abantu babakwata ebyo bye byange manya agange zina suna pros.
Oluganda mukama yebazibwe. Betina mujundi muganda wa Jamushidi Kavuma. Kavuma yawambibwa nga 5 ku Lwomukaaga. Saazali 7 n'ekitundu kwe kumanya nti Jamushidi bamuwambye. Nakuba ku simu ye ku makya 2 n'ekitundu. Mubuuzeeko nga tonnadda. Omuntu n'ankwata n'angamba wasuze otya nnyabo. Nensirika nemubuuza wasuze otya. Kwa Jamushidi bwe mba mubuuza tasobola kuŋŋamba bw'atyo ku makya nga kinaawo kuti kunkubisiza ku makya gano nkomawo. Tiwe yangamba bw'ati neŋŋamba kyabika munne yakutte essimu. Tibulaza nga kusaba 7 n'ekitundu ku Sande bwe yankubya ne mugamba alabika akyali ne banne. Nali ndi awo ne kawuki n'ankubya nenga kirabika bituufu. Embeera awo ne mugamba ne kati ngenda kukola nti neŋŋambako baganda bange kana ndaga nze sisobola kugenda kunoonya kubanga nyina betukolera tebatumanyi kati bayinza otwala ku kamera ne balowooza nti nenga kati nkoze ntya ne nninnya nenga kawuki njaga ntwale ku ofiisi za Nupu kubanga kimanyi bodyguard wa Bobi kangende mmanje bulaza wange era najja wano nenkera nenkomawo nenjipitira ku mawulire ga NBS. Olwakomawo bulaza wange nankubira essimu n'aŋŋamba baŋŋambe Jamushidi ali Mulago. Ne mugamba ali Mulago ali mu woodi kingendeyo. N'aŋŋamba ate wamala googera bwebiti ebintu gufulumya gomali gagoogera kyomanyi akuumimwa amagye. Ne mugamba akuumimwa amagye nti nze nja kugendayo mbaga baasi balinaako buzibu nze naye bulaza waffe tusobole okumujjanjaba. N'agamba gwe simanyi gwe genda ne nkwata ekkubo ne ŋŋenda e Mulago. Ne nnoonye e Mulago buli wamu ne mbuuza abasirikale bonna ne bakebera n'abasajja ne bakolera mu likodi za gundi mu likodi zaabwe ze bakola nga temuliimu Jamushidi ne mbanyonyola byonna ebibaliko nga tebiriiwo. Ne nkomawo ne ŋŋenda ku Gladiator ne bantwala bulungi ewa Disho bamuyita Mutebi ow'e Masanafu. N'atugamba mwasookeddewa nze n'ensirika. N'agamba bantu bamwe bajja kulabika. Kubanga ngenda banoonya bwe tunabafuna tugenda bawa. Nenziramu nembuuza omuntu genda yatwale wa Disho n'angamba yali atugenda banoonya genda kulabika. Kati ennaku zino wiki namba bayita ku social media Jamushidi yafa. Neŋŋuma n'ensirika nga Katonda omulamu wange alabika gyali. Kati mbuuza bw'aba nga yayombebwa gavumenti nga mwamuteekawa. Nze siri munnabyabufuzi sinaawo gwe nkolaki gwe mpane bulaza wange mwagala. Abadde paati nnene gyendi. Era sobola kutuulaawo nenywa nekolaki nga simulabako. Abantu bakubuuza wena gwe gwekikunya tosobola genda ng'obanyonyola ebikuliko. Naye kati musuubira maama tasobola kujja. Oba taata bonna bali eri beeraliikirivu bakoze tasobola kulinnya takisi kujja eno kunoonya Jamushidi. Kati ne mbabuuza amawulire agabika bulaza nge mugajjawa intaneti. Ng'ate gye najja okubanja bulaza nti bankubirako nti yafa. Kati waba yakubibwa amasasi tugeze mu nvunaana omusango. Kati bwe mba ndi mu bulumi nsobola obbannyonnyola oba era nnyina kuguma n'embeera n'enguma n'obulumi bwange ne muzita waba aba afudde asobola obbayambako ebyo bye mwetaagisa.
With what happened to Chirumira, some of you behave like you have habits of eating dead people. People like Taebwa. I think you find fun because you beat up a person. I think you even eat dead bodies because we are talking about missing people. Matters of national importance can entail the word human, Ugandan, and then you maraude yourself that you even went to school. Mr. Taebwa, you give ultimatums because you're working for someone who compelled you to cross from your former ideologies to necessitate yourself feel comfortable in that small position of robbery and thuggery where you are seated with the comfort of maximum idiotism, and you believe that you're going to shake this country with sitting there with your emptiness and ineptness, Mr. Taebwa. These are human beings. We know you have no respect for humanity. But it is very unfortunate. We are being very polite that we went to school and we are grown up with very responsible parents. Otherwise, with people like Taiba, we would be using the worst form of language against them. The worst form of language, and we mean it. Because they do not warrant us to be anywhere around society. We are watching Mr. Taiwa. Atena was that day, oyinza okuba obulungi ne mubba paka wolifa. Naye nkukakasa. Napoleon, they made sure that nobody of their lineage ever takes any center stage in France. Even when Napoleon the Little came and they did not know he was the one, era bamutwala talinya in those revolutions. Taiwa, history writes, and we are a generation writing history. Tujja kusiga obuchayi ne ku baana bammwe. Pozi bali wangalira Bulaaya ate naye tujja kusigayo obuchayi tubagobeyo.
Amanya aganyi bapita sigalo nati. Nze NUP gwe yataasa n'enja mulambo okufa. Bavaayo gavumenti n'eyogera n'egamba nali mubbi ku booda naye ne munnange ekansange egaba. Ne banyonoonera erinnya kubira ddala ku mukwano bange bamama ba. Ne banyonoonera erinnya. Naye gye bavaayo okwogera siwe kiti. Lwaki bagamba twali babiri ku booda oli ye yafa si nze yafa. Lwaki nze yayogera kagambo kagamba mulonde Kyagulanyi Ssentamu kuba president bino byonna tuli mu kawaani nga ndi ku skate sivuga booda nga ndi ku skate ate nze kuva dda nkola mu by'abayimbi ebintu byenkola mu disiketa buli omu yeetaagamu ne banneetaaga nange ndeetaaga kyekituuza mbayimbi ne gavumenti yavaayo neeyita lwansonga nkulidde mu mbeera mbi nkulidde mabega wa zebula ku jimu gwe batta olunaku lwe baamutta ffe bamu kubaakeerawo era byonna mbimanyi ngenda kufulumya oluyimba olwange era ne ssaawa zino mbadde nze nalo ku kitabo ekyo oluyimba lugamba nkomyewo bameka abakomyewo mukama njagala nnyo kuba omwoyo gwange bwomu maanyi g'abantu gogomu naye nno basaba tube kimu President Bobi Wine tumuleeta tufugemu olwo enkyukakyuka ebe wamu nenkugamba ebinyuma naye obulamu bunyuma rest in peace Michael Kiwange Zebula eby'obufuzi mwena byali binzisiza abatuwamba amaani batunoonya kasa bategeera nti tofudde ndi mu mativu eri Mukama Katonda yambonye kufaanagana bulamu ku nsi kati zineegerye ku nsi n'abantu ba ku nsi tuwana maanyi tugenda ku nsi abeebase busikuke temaze gwe batu obulamu mwansi bwakwebaka. Nze muvubuka gwe bagamba yali ku booda lwaki bajjamu njala mubbi ki gwe bakuba ne bajjamu enjala ne banjota ne paasi mugongo yiino mubbi ki oyo naye kyemmanyi ku nsi nze kyemmanyi teri akimanyi kuba nadda mwena temanyi lwaki wendi nze nina kyenina nze nga nze naye anaabeera omukkirize ne Mukama Katonda ajja kutegeera kikyendi naye bali kwogeramu nammwe neyanzizamu bali kumpa mukisa guno bulijjo ngunoonya naye nga sigulaba n'omukisa gunoonya amanya agali bapita sigalo nati naye nga naba ntandise okuyimba ngenda kwepuma tiflesinori nambaana kuneswag
enkofiira genda okwate ku pulezidenti mu ngalo.
Omanye erinnya lwaki nyina dyetuuma tiflesinori nambaana kuneswaga eswaga kuva dda nina laavu njiyina naye sikyagiyina nenfikira nga akugamba Mukama ayagala bakkiriza si bamadiini. Olugero lwe bankwata abasajja nkolera omwenda Swediya wenkolera byafanisha era bamanyi bansa olunaku lwali lwakumakya sawa yali ki erimu nkeera kumakya nsula nali nsula ebiseera ewa mukwano gwange nga nkeera kumakya nemba nengena nenkola bakwata nana emisumaali kumakya nakasimu kange nainena nakabojjigula naye nga doni kituufu baba bamanyi woosula n'obudde bufulumamu buli kimu abeera bakimanyi okukukwata kuba olunaku lwe bankwata abantu baali batandika butandisi kutambula kumakya era olwanyingiza mu doni nagezaako okugezesa kukozesa amaanyi kuba ndi bookisa omusajja we namukuba yaŋŋamba ojja kulaba olugalo nomulaba terwefunya lwansonga emu balumenya bagamba naye tolina amaanyi nakola ki ne balumenya naye nze sitidde ne mativu eri Mukama Katonda lwansonga ndi mulamu ebirala kati kyaliwo ekiti kati kanyume story kaze ku story yokka engalo kino muziraba engalo zino muziraba tezaaliwo ezi abasajja mu luvannyuma lw'okuntuusa eri bambuuza Sentamu Kyagulanyi Sentamu mumanyinga ate mbaga banesina kye mumanyiko mumanyinga muyimbi baŋŋamba ekintu kimu ojja kwogera ng'ekituufu kye mbagambe kyekyo simanyi ki kuba twali tugenda mu kuwandiisa Pulezidenti Bobi Wine nga batupangisiza abasikeeti mu kutupangisa kati nze we mmanyi nti naye njaga Pulezidenti wange ng'akira ekibiina kya kinoonyayo sente nenzija nga abantu batulaba bubi mu kkubo ababooda ne ŋŋamba mulonde Kyagulanyi Sentamu kuba pulezidenti nga nesiize yeera balala mutukyaliza Museveni mulonde Kyagulanyi Sentamu kuba pulezidenti bino byonna betuli mu kawandi waliwo wa booda wa mawulire nga simanyi nampita naŋŋamba muvubuka jangu eno sebere eno najja esimu ye n'ankwata we yankwata n'aŋŋamba ddamu ne mugamba mulonde Kyagulanyi Sentamu kuba pulezidenti bino byonna tuli mu kawandi wala yabaddala mazima ga Katonda naye nakatuukeeka nga katambi katuuze dda ne bagamba kwaliko nendowooza muvubuka ovimbye nga omanyi okuvimba nendowooza nvimbye abantu kye mbagamba tebakikkiriza abatusinga tebamanyi kimanyi abantu mbagamba tenezebula namusiikako bagamba ali obulimbuzi oli mulwadde nga kituufu zebula zo namusiikako lwansonga baamutta watali nako nga bbiri maaso awo basatu wakale nafunamu obuzibu nakwako ku ddalu ati njogera kyemmanyi nze nga njagala mumanye amazima kadire banzijamu olwala olusuuka ali bbiri zizino kati abasajja we namugamba ogwasembayo nga ngamaze okujja mujinya namugamba sebo nkwegayidde nyamba nzita yaŋŋamba si wetutyo wetukola omanyi kyeyali aleeta paasi banange ng'emyuse banange ng'ogiraba omusajja yagiteeka omubiri gwonna gwavaako nga paasi wagiteeka gwavaako nenkaba era enkazi zemulabaawo kipande ekyo nali nkazi nali ndudde mukyala emulago ezo zemulabaawo enko nga zino zikaze amanyi nakulwasidika amanyi naganye pitibwa sigalonadi
omwami oyo nga bwe mumulaba tumuwadde obudde obwo bwonna kubanga bye baamukola mukomera okumugyamu enjala okumukola baamukola ebintu bingi nnyo so naafuna post trauma disorder takyali nga bwe yali kubanga kati amala n'avaako so ali under treatment ejja okukola okumala ebbanga takyali muntu nga bwe yali bamungenga bazitemako ne bakola n'ebintu ebirala so abadde akyali strong tukyatambuza naye basebo ne banyabo eyo yembeera gye tulimu mu ggwanga Uganda. It is very unfortunate kati nomala n'owulira omuntu nga naye toyinza butakola ekyo bw'oba wagulirira okubeera mu ofiisi mwoli then oba osobola okukola ekintu kyonna ebyo byonna byonna batayiba bye bakola baagulirira okubeera we bali they are living in satanic life so they have to be like Satan to be comfortable with Satan. Mukirize tuyite Honorable Sewungu Joseph Gonzaga ajje era tubeebaze tubakubireko mu ngalo abaka parliament
Mr. President, sir, abakulembeze bonna abali wano protocol gy'obuzaavinga ne bannamawulire. Ekisooka nga sinagenda mu luzungu Mwami Museveni yesabire naye yennyini. Simanyi bwe bw'abeera mu nnyumba ye ne mukyala we amanya nti ali ku buzibu bunene obusinga obwaffe. Omukyala ono okugamba nti bakuta omwana ow'emyaka 17 etteeka lya Uganda terikkiriza kugalira mwana bw'atyo ne bw'aba akoze ne bw'aba asse kitaawe alina emitendera mirala nnyo egimuvunaana Ekyokubiri, Minister wa Defense yagamba manya abasajja bano batumbaavu nnyo. Yabadde ku radio ng'agamba nti ffe be tubadde be babuzizzaawo si batuufu. Bagenze mu NIRA ne bakebera amannya ago nga ffe be tuleeta bakyamu. Naye ffe abaffe twabawa officially mu Parliament, tubalaze mu public ne mu face. Bw'ogamba nti ono mutabuziddwawo ng'ate si Munnayuganda, gwe minisita ayogera Oweekitiibwa Ssempijja, mutulage bw'ogamba nti si mutuufu. Naye obulwadde buli mu ggwanga, baminisita ba Museveni batambula na fulaga ku mmotoka ze batunuulira nga zitambula. Tubona kibalaba kirala mu ggwanga. Ye bw'aba mu mmotoka fulaga naye uba gy'alaba tera kyakola ki kyalaba. Anga kituzizzaayo kyatuzaayo dda naye gyakwebaza nnyo Mr. President ekkatala lye tukola nga National Unity Platform okununula abantu bano. Naye tewali muntu yenna yeetaba mu kuwamba abantu, yeetaba mu kubatulugunya atagenda kuwoza misango nga ye ng'omuntu. Etteeka eriwakanya okubonyaabonya, okuwamba n'okutulugunya abantu, Museveni yalikyako omukono nga President. The Anti-Torture Act ligenda mukwata nga bwe lyakwata abalala, bwe lyakwata Mama Mbabazi ng'ataddewo Public Order Management Act egaana okutuuza laale yonna ye yasooka mu kkomera nga ffe tuli wali. Ani alaba Kayihura wano? Kayihura ali eri alina n'akuuma akamumotali nga ku bigereza kyatambula mayiro 10. Bw'asooka bamubuuza tulaba osaze ekkubo ddawa, ddayo gy'obeera. Bassebo ne banyawo, ffe tubasaba public eri wano mwongere otuwa abantu bonna ababuziddwawo. Polisi bazikuba ate baleka beekubira polisi bono nefe abalala. Njagala nkiddemu National Unity Platform ejja kuwa facts zonna, tetugenda kukwata mundu kujjako Museveni naye tujja mujjako nga tanaabye. Tujja mujjako nga takoze eki, nga teyeyagalidde, tanaabye, nga tategedde, kubanga n'abali mu security bibatanye. Lastly, IGP Ochola ebbanga lyokoledde mu poliisi olina lipooti nnungi gye bakuwandikako naye kati ovunza oweddewo. Vaayo oyogere. Kayindo Tafiire yagambye tasobola kukwata abantu batamanyi, bamanyi bakutte be baani. Amateeka gatugamba bw'okwata omuntu oba omuvunaana mutwale mu poliisi oba mutwale mu kooti. Ku poliisi muwe bondi, mutwale mu kooti bamurimandinge oba afune bail emukkiriza okufuluma atambule. Naye okwata omwana wa myaka 17 ate teri bantu bantamye ngamba amajambere oba bajja batya wano Katonda yamanyi. Bata erinnya ly'abantu abalala kyabulabe nnyo okubanga okozesa erinnya eggwanga okwonoona abantu abatebenkevu mu ggwanga. Ezo ensonga zange zenjagala njogereko naye nkikakasa era nga Parliament kwebaza nnyo obukulu wa Iswa. Thank you for the comment. Ffe tujja kukwata ekinazi tukikube paka tukyasizza. Parliament gye tuli mugimanyi naye tetuyinza tujja gikwana tulwane paka because bye tubuuziza tubibuuziza naye jjogo likoze eki lisuse. Nolwekyo Mr. President nyongera okwebaza katwongere tukuba abasajja. Tetuza kigere mabega, teri kuyimirira, teri kuzikiza. Ensonga zijja kuguga kubanga omusajja tuliko mulwadde muyi ali mu ward 6B eyema. Neyanze. Okay. I want to thank our president and the entire executive of National Unity Platform, plus all their supporters, plus you, the fourth arm. This country is in trouble, but the most person in trouble is General Kaguta Museveni. If he thinks he's safe, he's unsafe where he's seated, where he's standing, and what he's eating right now. Because how do you come out as government? But of course, this country has no government. This country has no government, but it has a failed state. You come out in public, you arrest a young boy of 17, a juvenile, which is against our laws. All those people who are arresting people, who are torturing our citizens, involved in arrest and the torture, yet the act against torture was signed by the same president who stole our votes of the previous elections. Now, how do you sign a bill, an act, and then you legitimize it by doing the contrary to the act? That's very dangerous. I was very happy yesterday when I saw Zake raising tempers and the parliament, the man had to move out, panic this side, left-hand side, until that's how we have to do our work. However, we are insisting Mr. President, we cannot retard. Let us continue exposing these fools until we get the right answer from these people. And we shall continue. However, it's your duty as police, Mr. IGP. It's you yourself with a good record that you are dying mysterious. Whenever they arrest people, you either bond them or you give them a bail, they take them to court for bail. But you cannot keep people into incarceration without producing before court. We can't accept this, and I want to thank you. But never a child was say the mutua of Kakafo. Omaniwa Rama Saja Batumba. One woman said that White Hood was saying no Rani Gundi brother. Pavevenga nemwe bale base kula tetuja bakiza ndezipos nze ne president Kyagulanyi waiswa fetuse ko kwogera obufuzi kubanga musebe talina police bwayogera yagwayo dda yananuka nagwayo. Thank you very much.
Bana yona lebo abanyonyode nti nze nina okwogera ebintu ebyo munyongere ngalo. Oli yananuka nakola ki? Yananuka ena no kwita omwogeza ddako naye bangambye eriyanga ente ebigambo byenjogedde nga nnyonnyola tayeebwa timbyogere mu vernacular. Ate leero Oluganda naluleseyo naze nalusoga. Mukobeko mu lusoga omwibi w'amasanalaze. Omwibi w'amasanalaze muleke ayiba bw'amasanalaze kale okutulugunya takibonna mu kintu kyonna kyonna. Yaloba osasula amasanalaze yakuba omwana otali kuba mwibi wangu. Bebuti bino ebyotulugunya abantu ebyabulidde ayinza obifuna mu ensoni naire tasobola. Allow me invite our General he is in the center of the heat. Please clap for our Secretary General. This gentleman this gentleman, why I said is in the center of the heat. There is no Secretary General in the history of Uganda who has had to manage a political party as a Secretary General with such phenomenal challenges. We are hundreds and thousands of Ugandans. Because of administration protocol, he's supposed to take care of many activities. Today he's working on a lame person, the other day is on a dead person. I felt I should recognize him and appreciate him in front of the world. Thank you very much, David. I prophesied that you are going to be the best SG and you are yet to be even better. Thank you very much. People power. Our power. I'm going to really speak a few things, but also join the voices of all Ugandans who are condemning the abductions that have been going on. All of you saw a very unfortunate video where Sheikh Yahya was being taken, and you can imagine how these people operate, like complete rogues. They come, surround you, and then take you away, and you don't know where you are. You also saw a video of former presidential candidate Joseph Kabuleta and how he was taken. I saw NRM, I don't know what to call them. What should I call them? What are those people? I don't want to call them those words, but those people saying that he was arrested. But how do you arrest a person and the family does not know where he is and nobody knows where that person is for this time? Lawyers are not given access to that person, etc., etc. So that is very unfortunate, and we condemn it in the strongest terms possible. What Comrade Walsh was talking about is true. While NUP as a political party should be focusing on mobilizing and building its bases across the country, we find ourselves having to deal with cases of abductions, of torture, of whatever, almost on a daily basis. Here, as I speak, if you look in this congregation, if I ask, bananga abali bawambidwako wano muyimirire kujjako abakulembeze comrades baffe ndaba oyo comrade Modi baliwa Waiza n'abalala bangi nnyo abali batwaliddwa at least abali bawambiddwako at any one given time.
So that is a challenge we find. And today, because of logistics and other reasons, many of the families are not here. But you can see the challenge that we're dealing with as NUP. I want to also inform you that we have reported cases in Ugandan courts, many of them. And in some cases, we got writs of habeas corpus. A writ of habeas corpus is a court order directing the government to produce people dead or alive. But those people have not been produced. In Mukono, in the case of Damulira John and others, we got those writs of habeas corpus, and we have filed other cases which have not been given hearing dates up to now. Finally, is also to remind you that we have written to the Uganda Human Rights Commission, I think the 10th or 20th time. This is a letter that was taken to the Uganda Human Rights Commission this morning, giving details of these missing persons. And the reason why we wrote this letter is because we want to be on record. Recently, they wrote to us, you know, they sometimes seem to pretend to not know what is going on. So for us as NUP, we have made it clear that we shall at all times be on record. We filed the same list with the Committee of Parliament on Human Rights. We filed it with the Uganda Human Rights Commission. We have filed it even with, of course, international agencies, as our president will indicate. But we have been looking for justice for these our people up to now. Unfortunately, they are nowhere to be seen. And the comrades who are missing, we have the details and we're going to give them to you. But I want to maybe quickly go through the list. Kavuma Jamshid was taken on the 5th of November. And we have the family here. His picture is also here. Chibarama John Bosco was taken in 2019 on June 3rd. Semudu Michael, 47 years of age, was abducted from Kasubi, Lubia on 28th November 2020. Damulira John was 50 years of age and he was picked up from Chiseka Market on 21st of December 2020. Mbabazi Moses Kawenja, he was aged 30. He was taken from Chiseka Market on the 26th of November 2020. Nalumonso Vincent, 28 years of age, was abducted from Bugolobi on 1st December 2020. Lukwago Martin was 32 years of age at the time of abduction. He was picked from Bugolobi on 3rd of November 2020. Kanata Muhammad, who's a family you saw, the wife, he was 44 years of age and he was taken from Mukono on the 23rd of December 2020. Sempi Jayuda was 30 years of age. He was taken from Mukono on the 19th of November 2020. Musisi Mbowa was 32 years. He was abducted from Chisenyi, Kampala on 18th December 2020. Chilia Peter was 26 years of age. He was taken from Chebando December 2020. Wangolo Shata, 35 years of age. He was picked up from Chebando Nansana on 3rd December 2020. Zimula Dennis was 26 years of age. He was taken from Chebando Nansana on 25th November 2020. And you saw the mother here. Luwemba Mustafa was 28 years of age. He was picked from Chebando Nansana on 19th November 2020. Mubiru Hassan was 35 years of age. He was abducted from Kawala and he was taken on 20th November 2020. Sesazi Isma was taken from Machinde on the 19th of November 2020. Chisembo Geoffrey was 53 years of age. He was a headmaster of a school. He was abducted from Mubende town on 12th February 2021, immediately after the election. George Kasumba, and I want to thank the media which has been highlighting his case, 36 years of age. He was 36 years of age. He was abducted from Chotela on the 19th of January 2021. He was abducted with about 60 other people who were later brought, but he never returned with them. Baguma Joseph was abducted from Chebando in December 2020. Sonko Haruna Badiru was 33 years of age. He was taken from Kawala on 25th November 2022. Ndale Charles was abducted very recently. He was 32 years of age on the 25th of November of this month. Abdul Bayani Babu was also abducted on the 25th. Godfrey Chirumira Marvin, whose mother you saw, was 17 years of age. At the time of abduction, he was taken from Masanafu on 5th November 2022. Ahumza Patrick was abducted from Masanafu on 5th November 2022. And finally, Muleme Stephen, 22 years of age, was also abducted from Masanafu on the 5th of November 2020. You can imagine, all these Ugandans are missing and nobody knows where they are up to now. Mu Luganda akyana kunyo nti bino bikyagenda maaso mulabye obutambi bano abasajja ekirungi kati nti kamera bwe baba bazireeta nga balowooza zigenda kubayamba okukwata ababavuganya naye ate naffe zituyamba okulaba ebikolobero bye bakola ku bantu. Bana mulabye video nga bakwata Sheikh Yahaya nga kya buswavu nnyo abasajja okusanga omusajja omukulu bw'atyo ne bamuzingako ne bamutwala nga atali era ne wetwogerera abantu be tebamanyi wajali. Ne kati wetwogerera abantu be tebamanyi wajali. Abantu abefuula abawagira NRM batera okugamba nti abantu abakwatibwa they are arrested so tebawambibwa. Era nalabye omwogezi wa poliisi jo ng'ayogera nga talina nsonyi ku maaso ngagezaako okugamba nti these people are arrested not abducted. Naye ssemateeka ekulaga butya omuntu walina okukwatibwa mu mateeka. Naye bw'okwata omuntu n'omutwala mu drone n'omukweka eyo ng'abaloya tebasobola accessinga abafamire ye ab'Enganda tebasobola accessinga oyo abamuwambe tosobola vaayo n'ogamba nti oyo yakwatibwa. Era mu baluwa yange eno kyempandikidde akakiiko k'eddembe ly'obuntu akaalibadde akakiiko k'eddembe ly'obuntu andikako oyo basanga bode ye omulambo bamuwamba n'abalala kanebazeko ba MPs abakulembeze abagezaako okwogera ku nsonga eno naye ate fenafena kyetulina okukola ndowooza tulina okwongeramu amaanyi. Era nga president waffe bwe yatugamba teri muntu asobola okubeera comfortable mu mbeera eno. Abamu bayinza okusalawo ne basirika ku bigenda mu maaso naye bakimanye nti ebaddako kubanga kati bwe tulabye bakwata abasomesa bakwata bannaddiini bakwata abantu ababulijjo kwegamba teri omuntu asobola okulowooza nti bino bya NUP. No, this is a national call for all of us. So thank you. I think those are my comments.
Thank you very much, our Secretary General. Please give him another round of applause. I love his Luganda eloquence. It defines him to be tribalistic. Let me invite our Deputy President in charge of Western Uganda, Madam Jole Mugisha. He has the other song he always teaches us in Yankore.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Your Excellency, Honorable Chagulanyi Sentamu Robert, the Secretary General, members of Parliament here present, leaders of NUP, and members of the press, and our dear supporters and people who have lost dear ones. It's so sad. It is so sad that each time we come here, we have to talk about people who have disappeared. We have to talk about, people who have been killed by government. It is so unfortunate. Even in this century, when our country, Uganda, should be moving forward, should be engaged in development, those of you who have stepped out of this country they call Uganda, you know what is happening in our neighboring countries. If you have been to Rwanda, if you have been to Kenya, if you have been even to Tanzania, when I was growing up, if anyone ever mentioned that you are a Tanzanian, you would complain because they were far behind in terms of development. But in Uganda today, if you move around, what do you see? Before we even come to, you know what we are talking about here. Instead of the government of Uganda concentrating on developing our nation, like the standard gauge line I saw in Kenya recently, sorry, you know, they are there killing the people. They would have been civilians who would be, you know, engaged in development of this country. It is so, so sad. I want to add my voice, Your Excellency. I want to thank you so much and the team members, because we have really exposed the people. You know, for me, I live in the countryside out there. You know, human beings are very, very interesting. When they have not tested the problem themselves, or when they have not had the problem at their doorstep, they don't know that other people are suffering. It is so, so, so unfortunate that many Ugandans still take our presentations as a joke. You know, I read in some newspaper where a minister was saying, those guys, they just, SG has said, would be down there mobilizing and building better structures. But here we are, yes. And if we can borrow from the example of the Bible, you know, when Jesus started his work, when he was living, he and tell gospel. So if government thinks that we are gossiping about abductions, I thank God that that gossip is reaching every Ugandan, and Ugandans have changed their attitude towards this government. I am not going to talk much. I have one duty, but before I do that, I want to give those people, our tormentors, our oppressors, 2 proverbs. Number 1, there is no sin or there is no crime that anybody commits in this world that is not paid back to that person in the same kind. And in Runyankore we say, you reap what you sow. And another one says, so I want to assure our tormentors, our oppressors, that these seeds of hatred they have planted among Ugandans will surely overtake them one day. Just as we are standing here, those seeds will overtake them directly or indirectly. I mean, if it doesn't happen to them, to themselves as individuals, it will certainly get to their children and their grandchildren. I thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you for the work you are doing. SG, members of Parliament, we really are very, very, very proud of you. Thank you for doing the good job, Your Excellency. You have achieved. NUP has achieved. People, NUP has achieved. There is nowhere where you go in any corner of Uganda. We may not be able to stop the abductions. We may not be able to stop the killings today, but at least everyone knows that the NRM government is a killer, is a murderer. Yes, those things happened long ago for me. I think I'm one of the oldest people here. In around the 70s, when I was in primary school, I recall people would just disappear. Our head teacher disappeared. Our, the elders in the community, the UPC Secretary General disappeared. But I was shocked. There was even a South County chief who disappeared. But then they would disappear and be taken by, drones at the time and registered vehicles. And they say history repeats itself. Now, should we believe that the same people who did the abductions then have resurrected. After all, there is resurrection that we believe in. I thank you so much, people. Your Excellency, you have done a good job. I want to invite you to come here and add your voice in the lamentation, but believing that we have achieved in, exposing the works of the oppressor. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Our power. People power. Everywhere.
Good morning, friends. Good morning, members of the media. We continue to thank you for amplifying our voices, which represents the people of Uganda. We thank you very much. We thank you, members of the mainstream media. But again, we also thank you, friends who are blogging, who are always broadcasting live on Facebook, on Twitter, and all other. So much of it will be edited out. Therefore, we thank you, those who broadcast live. We don't take that for granted. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Madam Deputy called me to add my voice on the lamentation. I just want to correct you, Madam Deputy, that I won't just lament. It's a lamenting time, but I won't just lament. I'll just assert my voice on the call of the freedom of our people. So many Ugandans have been abducted for a long time. It is more than 2 years since Chibama John Bosco was abducted, and many others. Most recently, you have seen Jamshid Kavuma, our brother, who was abducted now, close to a month ago. Nobody knows where he is. Although those that were lucky to escape those torture chambers informed us that they actually saw him. He was shot in the leg. Jamshid Kavuma. Like all of us that have been abducted in the past, tortured so badly and hidden from the public eye until we are better. We believe they are still fidgeting. They are either fidgeting with a sick Jamshid Kavuma, so tortured and shot, or they actually killed him and they're trying to hide the fact. But we know that they abducted Jamshid Kavuma. It was captured on camera. We continue to demand for the freedom of Jamshid Kavuma. In a similar way, you also a video of Sheikh Ramadan Yahaya. Sheikh Ramadan Yahaya Mwanje was abducted, like many others, still missing. It was so painful listening to the mother of a 17-year-old who is missing, and many, many others. Secretary, read them out in English. I'll probably read them out in Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, all this is ongoing. It is not new. It's at this time that I want to salute the Honorable Francis Zake. Honorable Francis Zake, wherever you are, I want you to know that me as an individual, I'm very proud of you. The National Unity Platform is very proud of you, and Ugandans, especially those that are abducted, are very proud of you. Thank you for not conforming to the nonsense of Parliament. Thank you for not shutting up. Thank you for doing exactly what you are elected to do. To all of you leaders, we are elected to represent our people. Stop this nonsense of talking about policy. There's no policy in Uganda that will be implemented. The first policy is to maintain the freedom of our people. The first policy is to make sure that all Ugandans are human beings. We've been reduced to just demanding to live. We are reduced to demanding for the right to be human beings. Human rights, ladies and gentlemen, means the right to be a human being. We don't have the right to be a human being in Uganda. Look at Segawa Oliwa. Look what they did to this young man. For those of you that never got the pictures of Segawa, that is a young man there, Ngachari Mulwadi. They cut off his fingers. They tortured him so bad, most of it we can't just say it here for the respect of him. So we want So we want to be human beings. So to you leaders, before you talk about anything else, before you discuss how much money they're going to give to Rocco, before you discuss how much money is going to be stolen and shared with you, before we discuss the increment of the members of parliament or the local government leaders, let us discuss about the liberty and freedom and the human rights of our people. So we salute you, Honorable Francis Zake. I watched with shock Taibwa trying to stop Honorable Zake from raising the most important issue in the country, abduction. But on the other side, I shouldn't have been shocked, because this very Taibwa Thomas, on the 28th of August 2020, was filmed torturing an employee of Umeme who caught him stealing power. This is the Speaker of Parliament, the so-called right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, are calling the wrong Honorable Speaker of Parliament. So to you, Mr. Taibwa, wherever you are, we are not fools, okay? You can pose off, you can feel so powerful with that stupid colonial wig on your head, but we will tell you that you are being watched and history will treat you exactly the way you treated Ugandans. To all our fellow leaders, what should be priority now is our people. They are abducting our people and killing them, and you know that. That should be on your lips. That's what you should discuss on every radio and TV talk show. And if you're not talking about the well-being of your people, very soon we're going to ask you who you're working for. I've already communicated to all our leaders. While we salute you, our local government leaders, while we salute you, our parliamentary team, we are calling upon you, ladies and gentlemen, to make priority the well-being of our people. There's no reason whatsoever for you to be in that parliament, legitimizing the Museveni dictatorship and legitimizing the daylight robbery of our public funds, while our people are being tortured, killed, and raped, and sodomized, and, castrated in torture chambers. I've already communicated to all speakers, all NUP leaders. I've communicated to the leader of opposition and all members of parliament. This should be priority. Zake was not wrong. These people are not behaving like mad people, they are behaving like lunatics. So if you pretend to be normal in an abnormal situation, man, so thank you very much, Honorable Zake. We salute you. And all of you leaders, that is exactly what we want to see. We want to see the voice of the people that elevated you to those positions reflect through your mouth. That is the reason why we sent you there, ladies and gentlemen. To all of you that are victims of torture, victims of abductions, their family, and to fellow Ugandans, we are not seated. That's why I said, Madam Deputy, that we are not lamenting. We are doing something about it. Besides, like Secretary General has mentioned, besides, opening up cases in these courts of Uganda, which are largely in the pockets of General Museveni. You have seen the Chief Justice, the head of the judiciary, clearly supporting the abductions of our people, silent about it. I was with him at the memorial service of Ben Chiwanuka, who was abducted in the drones of Idi Amin. He is silent about the abductions of our people. He is silent about the raping and killing of people. Daylight. He is silent about the denial of members of parliament of bail. And yet, he has the balls to come and stand in a Ben Chiwanuka mass, which is celebrating a man who was killed for giving bail, not to a Ugandan, but to a foreigner, because that was his constitutional right. That was his right. You should be ashamed of yourself, you old, wicked men. Now, we have gone ahead to seek redress internationally. We have informed you that we've opened cases in all relevant offices. We have petitioned the International Criminal Court against General Museveni, his son, and many of his lieutenants that he uses to abduct and kill people. We've also petitioned all necessary embassies and all necessary organizations. We want sanctions against these people. And we are slowly but surely succeeding. It was the work of we, especially our diaspora chapters, to get sanctions against Abel Kandiho, who was the commander of CMI back then. But that's not enough. We've also petitioned, and we're coming after all those other murderers. Murderers like this man called Christopher Damolira, who heads crime intelligence. Damolira, we know you are killing our people. The world knows, and sooner or later, you will have to answer for that. We have put there people like this man who is CMI, James Lirunji, the same, criminal organization that Abel Kandiho used to lead. You should know that soon or later, you will pay for this. Whether you kill us or you don't, you cannot finish all of us. And it's at this time that I want to call upon all of you leaders and citizens, please note down the names of those people that are taking part in the abduction of our people. Mubamani, we know them. Let us pin them out there. Whether we are alive or dead, those that will be there will go for you. This is recorded. And at one time, there's going to be a time for redress. Now, I also want to use this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about the recent purported attacks on police stations and barracks and others. I have watched keenly regime propagandists trying to claim that those attacks are made by the opposition. I actually saw some NRM person mentioning that one of the people that they killed was an NUP leader. Nonsense. Nonsense. All of you, ladies and gentlemen, watched the Bijambia killings. Bijambia Part 1, Bijambia Part 2, Bijambia Part 3. You watched them. They started long before Segirinya was even a councillor. But because they always use these things to implicate opposition, today, Honorable Segirinya and Sewanyana are in prison because of the Bijambia killings. All of you saw the killings in Entebbe. Even when one young man came out and told the media that they were actually paid and instructed by Kaihura to carry out those killings, still they want to implicate the opposition. Now, to see purported attacks on security installations and police stations, and they are beginning to implicate us. Don't be shocked when they come and arrest me, or Rubongoya, or Nyanzi, or Nubianli, and say we are connected to Joseph Kony, or we are connected to ADF, or we are connected to all this. We are watching you, and we are waiting for you to come. But everybody knows that these can very easily be false flag operations. For you who don't understand false flag operations, a false flag operation is an operation carried out to paint your opponent as evil. All of you watched this man called Kainda Otafire on the burial of Adonia Teberondwa some years ago, when he said they used to put on the uniform of the Obote government military and killed the people in Luweru. They raped women in Luweru. They did all manner of atrocities in order to get the population to hate Obote. These are rebels, ladies and gentlemen. These are the same rebels. The only difference is now they have a lot of money and they put on suits. But they're the same rebels under the same rebel leader called Museveni. These are the same people. So we cannot be fooled, mister. The world cannot be fooled. This can very easily be you. And we know that we have facts about you. All of you remember the so-called PRA rebels that were attached to Dr. Kizza Besigye, and he was arrested and kept in prison. What happened to that case? What happened to PRA? We are watching you. You can put all that nonsense on us, but we are telling you, one, we are non-violent because we don't believe in violence like you murderers. But number two, we are unequivocal about our mission. Our mission is to remove you, Museveni, from power using constitutional and peaceful means. Muzikirize njogere ku Luganda basebo ne banyabo. Olunaku lwa leero njagala okugata eddoboozi lyange ku maloboozi gonna ge muwulidde olunaku lwa leero ag'abakulembeze bannange ne famire zaabo be baawamba n'abo abaawambibwako. Olunaku lwa leero twagala okwogera ku kiwamba bantu ekikutte ejjembe wano mu ggwanga naddala bwe tumalako. Yawambibwa abantu abalala Jamshid Kavuma wa miaka 28. Okuvaako olwo Jamshid Kavuma taddangamu kulabikako. Bwe yali awambibwa baakwata baabawambako akatambi ako mukalabi. Ebitongole byonna ebirina okuba nga bikuuma ddembe bize byegaana tebimuyina. Abaaliwo bategeeza ti Jamshid Kavuma baakuba amasasi nga bamuwamba. Aba bafunye omukisa okuvaayo gye babatulugunyiza baatugambye baalabye omuntu afaanana nga Jamshid Kavuma nga baamukuba essasi mu kugulu. Tulowooza ti Jamshid Kavuma bw'aba akyali mulamu erisasi lye batugambye lye baamukuba n'okutulugunya okw'amaanyi nga bw'eri nkola yaabwe ndi batuwamba ne bamala otutulugunya batukweka tebaagala tudde mu bantu ng'ebisawo tebinatugwako n'obuzimbo nga tebunatugwa ku mubiri. Tulowooza ti Jamshid Kavuma bayinza okuba bamutulugunya nnyo n'ebyo ebiwundu by'alina nga mwe muli n'eby'amasasi nga bakyaguluba naye bamujjanjabe basobole omukomyawo ng'alabikako nga bwe baakola Kakwenza, nga bwe baakola Nze, nga bwe bakoze bannaffe abalala bonna. Oba tulowooza ti Jamshid Kavuma baamutta ne bamusuula ng'ali yavundireyo mu kitoogo. N'ekyo nakyo kiri twagala bantu baffe basajja mmwe mutuwe abantu baffe oba balamu oba bafu. Baba balamu mubatuwe oba mubulooza balina emisango mubateeke mu kkooti ng'amateeka bwe galagira. Bwe baba bafu mutuwe emirambo gyaffe tugiziike mu kitiibwa. Basajjamu abatalina buwangwa abatawa kitiibwa bantu mutuwe abantu baffe oba balamu oba bafu. Omuntu omulala gwe bawamba bamuyita Kibalamajjo Bosco, ono yali neiba wange e Magere abeera ku kyalo kye bayita Seeta. Yali wa myaka 38 bamuwamba ennaku z'omwezi nga 3 omwezi gwa Juni omwaka gwa 2019 taddangamu kulabika. Muganda waffe omulala gwe bawamba bamuyita Semuddu Michael. Semuddu Michael yali wa myaka 47. Semuddu Michael mukodomi wa Chairman Nyanzi, mukyala wa Chairman Nyanzi kwadda. Semuddu Michael yawambibwa nga bamujja Kasubi. Bamuwamba nga 28 mwezi gwa Novemba omwaka gwa 2020 kati myaka 2 miramba. Semuddu taddangamu kulabika. Muganda waffe omulala gwe bawamba bamuyita Damulira John Bosco. Damulira John Bosco yali akolera mu katale k'Ekiseka. Yali musajja mukulu wa myaka 50. Bamujja mu dduuka lye mu katale ka Kiseka nga 21 omwezi gwa Desemba 2020 taddangamu. Omulala gwe bawamba bamuyita Kawenja Moses. Yali wa myaka 3 bamuwamba omwaka gwa 2020 nga 26 Novemba taddangamu kulabika. Nalumoso Vincent yali wa myaka 28 bamuwambe omwezi nga lumu Desemba 2020 bamujja Bobi mukulabikako Lukwago Martin yali wa myaka 32 bamuwamba nga bamujja Bobi nga 3 mwezi gwa Novemba 2020 tatangamu